Well, hello, friends. Happy Victober. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I am actually not a big Halloween fan, so when I started getting involved in Victober, this was like the perfect way for me to be excited about October without having to really participate in all the Halloween stuff I kind of like when it's like cutesy Halloween, but I don't like most of Halloween. So this was like the perfect thing for me to be able to enjoy the season pre-Thanksgiving without having to be a Halloween fan. So yeah, this is the most wonderful time of the year. It is, as I'm coming to right now, actually, full transparency. It is now Monday, October 3rd. I filmed some montages for the October 1st, and I don't know, actually think I filmed it all yesterday. Nope, I didn't. But I didn't get a chance to pop on until today. Let me just tell you what my plans are for this week at least. Because I will say there will probably not be much being finished until like the end of the month because Victorian literature is long and I have a lot on my plate right now. So we'll see how this goes with this whole vlogging thing. But I told Kate that I would vlog, so I'm gonna vlog, Kate. Even if it's boring, I'll vlog. So anyway, on the 1st, I started, and I'll pop pictures up here because in some cases I only have library copies, but I'm probably going to read on either ebook or audio most of the time. Because let's face it, I don't really want to lug a big Victorian novel around with me to work and stuff. So ebook is going to be my preferred method or audio this month. So the first thing I am reading is every morning, which ensures that I will get some Victorian literature in every day, is Morning and Evening by Charles H. Spurgeon. And he was a Victorian preacher, I believe a Baptist preacher, pretty sure. I'll have to, if I'm wrong about that, I'll try to remember to put it up here. But he has a lot of published sermons, and a lot of them are very long and involved. And I've tried to read them a couple of times, but I kind of get lost and, it's a lot sometimes. However, this is a devotional by him, which I thought was kind of cool, where he has a little section of his sermon in the morning and one for each evening, and it's a whole year long. So I'm going to attempt, because I have read it now for 3 days, and I really, really am enjoying it. So if I keep up with this through like till next October, I will have at least a Victorian in my life every day for the foreseeable future, for the next year anyway. And it's pretty easy. I just have it on my phone on Scribd, so I don't even have to remember to bring a book with me if I go on vacation or anything like that. So, and I'm really enjoying his insights into things. Now, with devotionals, I feel like, and I don't know, it's like edited or whatever by this man named Alistair Beggs, I think is his name. So I don't know if this is an actual devotional that Charles Spurgeon put together or if this Alistair Begg was taking bits of his sermons and making a devotional out of it. That's probably more likely, because I feel like in Victorian times, devotionals probably weren't a thing. But the only thing is and this is with a lot of devotionals, they take like a verse or even just a portion of a verse to like have as your little meditation thing. And then it'll talk about, it'll expound on it or expound on its thoughts about that passage in the devotional, which is fine, but you really need to like read before and after that verse, because a lot of times it's just a little snippet of something. So you're not really getting the context. So I have to definitely make sure every day, if I'm like really interested in what that little section has to say, I write that little snippet of a verse in my journal. And then when I get a chance, which is usually not in the morning, at least on the weekdays, then I go back and I read like a few verses before in that section of the Bible, or in a few verses after, whatever gives me the context. And then like I just think about that a little bit more. I maybe will reread the devotional to see if I think that it like lines up with whatever it's talking about. So far I'm liking this, but I do find that the little snippets uh, of scripture that is at the beginning is like real brief. And sometimes it's like, that tells me nothing about what the rest of the chapter was talking about, but whatever. So, and then after that, I am starting to read the Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens with some friends of mine. Christy. I almost said Chelsea. I do have a friend named Chelsea, but she is not reading this with us. Christy from Christy Lewis Dostoevsky in Space, and Victoria from A Musical Bookworm, and our friend Joe Smith, who is a lovely commenter that everybody knows and loves if you're on BookTube. So we are all reading the Pickwick Papers. We decided to read the Pickwick Papers before Katie from Books and Things put out her announcement about the reading project she is going to be doing on Charles Dickens throughout the next 2 years. But the first one they are reading for that is Pickwick Papers. So I think we are going to try to read along with that. We're going to try to read ours in the whole month, just the month of Victober, just because that seems like what you should do. But if we don't, we don't. It's fine. Because Katie will be taking, I think, 2 months for each book, which is why it's going to take 2 years for her to get through all of Dickens canon. Now, I probably won't follow it for every book that she reads, because I do want to reread some of Dickens, but some of them I've just read. So I think I'm going to just follow along with her as she comes to books that I either never read or read a really long time ago that I'd like to reread. So, but anyway, Pickwick Papers. I am now, as of the 3rd, I'm now 5 chapters in, and it's hilarious. I did have a little bit of trepidation in chapter 1 because it was written in a different style that was like meeting notes. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are they even talking about? What is happening here? So I wasn't real thrilled with it at first, but now that we're into it, it's kind of giving me Three Men in a Boat vibes, if you've ever read that. It's just really comical, and this Mr. Pickwick is like an observer of human nature, and he writes stuff in his book a lot, and he and his followers, his disciples, if you will, in the Pickwick Club, get into all kinds of weird scrapes and that just like are totally off the wall. and it's really pretty funny, but there's some like poignant moments in there too. So yeah, I'm really excited to hear what the other girls have to say about the first 5 chapters. I still need to message them. I haven't gotten a chance yet, so hopefully I will on my break at work today, because I have to go into the office today. So, and then, yesterday, Jennifer Brooks and Christy did some reading sprints in the evening where I finished the first 5 chapters of Pickwick Papers. I just had like one more chapter to finish. And then I went into Olive by Dinah Mollett-Craik. And this is the one I am picking for chronic illness or disability rep, the prompt. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. It's really sad, and it makes me want to smack people that they had these horrible ideas of people with disabilities back in the day. I mean, I'm sure that still happens today too, but it was really, really bad back in like Victorian times and probably earlier. So it breaks my heart that parents would just be like so disgusted with their own child for something that is not their fault at all, you know. But I think that there's going to be some hopeful things in this one. Katie from Books and Things really loves it. Kate Howe, who I'm reading this prompt, it's her prompt that I'm reading this book for. She did not really like this book. So we'll see what side of the fence I lean towards. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. It's just very sad at the moment, but I can see little glimmers of hopeful moments. So we'll see how that goes. But I think I'm about 5 chapters in on that one too. I am reading that via audiobook, mainly because I just couldn't find it in regular, like a regular physical book. I do also have it on ebook, so I'm kind of following along with the ebook too. But I'm glad I am listening to it because it is very heavy on the like Scottish, I think, dialect, and it's very difficult for me to read that kind of thing. So whenever there's a book like that that has really heavy dialect, I love having audiobook for it. So, but anyway, I've been talking a long time. That is what I've got going this week so far. And I will pop in at the end of the week probably to tell you where I've gotten. And I should show you my progress on my cross stitch that I am focusing on for this month because it is Jane Eyre related. Okay, so it's a couple of days later from when I talked to you last, but I ironed my Jane Eyre piece so that I could potentially film a floss tube, although I am not particularly camera ready today, so I probably will not, and I'll probably continue to work on this until probably the weekend. So, but this is where we are with my Jane Eyre piece right now. You can see that we are getting to the top of her head, so that is good. So I was working on this little half page, and this little bit I didn't finish yet, but then there's like one random color up here that is very unlike Mrs. Pagodi Art's pattern to have confetti pieces like this. So I'm wondering if this was just kind of a mistake, but I'm gonna have to fill that in with a new piece of floss, but I'll get to that later whenever I'm gonna like use that color again. So yeah, I am pretty pleased with it so far, and I'm hoping to get more done on it this month. So that's going to be one of my focuses today. And if I didn't say, it is Thursday the 6th now. It has been a few days again, and it is now Monday, the 10th of October. So we are going to wrap up this vlog so that I can start a week 2 vlog, because I have a lot of new books that I'm starting this week, thanks to Buddy Reads and all that. So we're just going to wrap up what I started talking about last week. First of all, I should mention that all the little pictures that you saw from the Pittsburgh Zoo. I went there on the 4th of October with my parents. It was my mom's birthday, and she wanted to go to the zoo. And it was a lovely October day. There were not that many people there, a few field trips, but not that many people. And the weather was cool, but it wasn't like totally freezing, and it was a little overcast. It was a beautiful day, and they have a lovely Chinese lantern, or like Asian lantern exhibit, I believe, because it is the year of the tiger. So it's like a special exhibit this year. And unfortunately, we weren't down there in the evening to see them all lit up, but they were all the different lanterns that they had throughout the park were beautiful, even if you went during the day. I didn't even feel like I lost anything by not seeing them lit up. So it was fantastic. So if you're in the Pittsburgh area, I don't know how long it lasts. I mean, this is the end of the season, more or less, because I can't imagine many people would go to the zoo in November, December. I probably would not, but I don't know if it's gonna go all year or what's happening with it. But if it's still going on in October, which obviously it was at the beginning of October, you should totally go see it. It was awesome. Um, and in addition, super cute animals. So, but anyway, back to the reading. So I think I forgot to mention that I am also reading Sonnets from the Portuguese by Elizabeth Barrett Browning for Roz's prompt to read Victorian poetry. And I have this little pocket book that I bought off of Amazon. And I've been reading more or less one sonnet a day. And I'll be honest, I am struggling with it. Just like really understanding what it's about. So I think I need to find some kind of analysis of Elizabeth Barrett Browning's work. So at least I kind of get the context for what she's talking about, because I mean they seem kind of depressing so far. So I just kind of want to get an idea of like maybe where her head was at the time of this book of poetry. So I'm enjoying them as far as like how they sound and all that, but I'm not really understanding what's happening. So, which is, kind of the way I am with poetry. So, but I am soldiering on with one sonnet or two a day. There are more than 31 poems in this book. So, sometimes I'll read a couple a day just to see if I can get through the whole book by the time Victober ends. So there's that. I am continuing on with Morning and Evening by Charles Spurgeon. Really, really enjoying that. It is a really great way to start my day. I'm having a little bit more trouble remembering to go back for the evening verses, but or for the evening devotional. So I might just start doing both the evening or the morning and the evening at the same time, because I can't, my brain doesn't want to function that way to do a devotion in the morning and in the evening. So we'll see. I might try to switch that up a little bit next week, but I'm really, really enjoying it. Yeah, Charles Spurgeon just has like a great way of convicting you and also just like encouraging you as a Christian. So I really am enjoying that one. The Pickwick Papers, I am really enjoying that one as well. I am 15 chapters in at this point, and it is just like a hilarious romp that really doesn't make any sense. But it just has a lot of different Victorian elements in it. And it's just a bunch of basically little vignettes, but it has the same characters woven through to kind of, bring it all together, but yet it just feels like a lot of different stories happening. So I can see where that would be a little off-putting to some readers, but I feel like in the serialized form that it was originally published in, that would have been great because he will, like I said, he keeps the same main characters throughout the whole thing. So I feel like a reader reading it in serialization would pick it back up and think, oh, okay, we're going to talk about the Pickwick Club again. But then you'll maybe get another character thrown in that tells like a completely random story that is often really sad or creepy. But then you get like the funny parts of the Pickwick Club thrown in. So it's just really entertaining in a lot of different ways. I feel like you get a lot of different you almost get kind of a Poe vibe from some of the stories that are just thrown in there. And then you get kind of an off the wall, not even Dickensian. Like, I wouldn't even consider a lot of what I'm reading as Dickensian. There are definitely elements that you can see uh, he has like developed over time into his like Dickensian work, but the overall feeling of it, I don't even feel like is Dickensian. But I can't even think of what author it kind of feels like at the moment, but it's just very off the wall. Maybe a little bit of Oscar Wilde. I feel like it's a little bit kind of crazy in that way, but not even that because he's not really like random. He's very cynical, but which Charles Dickens also was. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm having like a discussion about this in my head right now as we speak, so I'm going to save you from all that. But, suffice to say, I do really enjoy it. Olive, I am in the camp of really loving this book. It's very sad, but we are starting to get towards a place where maybe it's not so sad. We follow Olive in this. She has a deformity, which basically kind of sounds like they call her a hunchback at times, but it also doesn't really sound like it's that prominent. And that seems to be her only deformity, is she has a little bit of a curved spine. So I don't really understand, like, is it that bad, or is it just like the people around her are just not used to seeing somebody that doesn't look like perfection, that kind of thing. Um, so the the relationship with at least one of the characters from the beginning of the book that was really angering me has gotten better. But some of the other relationships that have come in that started off okay are going downhill. So poor Olive, but I'm really enjoying the story so far, and I'm hoping that it ends well for Olive. And from what Katie has said, Katie from Books and Things, I think that it will. Hopefully, we'll see. So, let's see, what else have I been reading? I think that's it at the moment. So I think that's all I have to tell you about this week. There will be a lot going on in this coming week that I mean, I'm actually going to start filming this one after I get done talking to you here. So there'll be a lot next week. So hopefully I can keep up with the vlogging. But I hope you all are having a great start to your Victober, and I will talk to you in my next video. Okay, bye.